Black History Month, aka Black Money Month. I wanted to come on here and say a bunch of like, oh yeah, it's Black History Month, like lift every voice and sing. You know, I can't sing, but you know, earth and heaven might ring with the harmonies of liberty. And that's all I'm trying to give y'all here at 10 o'clock on this Tuesday night. Yes, sir. On 10 o'clock on this Tuesday night. I'm just trying to lift my voice and sing so earth and heaven rings in the harmonies of liberty, because liberty is what's most important here. But oh man, the trip to getting there, man, it's so long, right? But I say Black History Month, aka Black Money Month, is what we're now seeing is that everybody's trying to capitalize off Black History Month because they'll just sell y'all niggas anything just to make some money. Oh, it's Black History Month. Let's do this. Let's have black inspired candles, kente cloth inspired candles. At Bath and Body Works, whatever that shit is, right? Let's just do that. And oh yeah, the black people will see the kente cloth candles and they will buy it. Got it. Let's do all this Afrocentric stuff, and oh yeah, man, this Black History Month, they'll buy it. Let's go on TikTok and make these weird TikTok posts acting like, you know, why does Black History Month exist? You point at your white self. Yeah, okay. If you can't money, you can get some clout off of it. I know. But when you think about this, do you know how like insensitive that is to black people? Do you know how that just like, you know, just really just looks at the plight of black America and say, fuck you, pay me? Like literally, it's like, fuck you, pay me, because all you're doing is you're taking something that means a lot to a group of people, and what may have been well intentioned when it began, now it's being exploited by those who just care about the dollar. Who it's 50 cent, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna say it makes me want to cry, but it just really it really just puts me in a weird place to where it's like, my God, you just want to monetize my pain. It's like spitting in my face. It's like slapping me in my mouth and spitting in my face, right? You go, hey, look here, you're black, you're less than. Okay, so we're gonna give you the shortest month of the year. I'm gonna give you the shortest month of the year to let you know how much we care about you, so that we can focus on Black history. Now, we're going to tell you which Black history we're going to focus on. We're not going to talk about Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about Martin Luther King Jr. You know, we're not going to talk too much about the Black Panthers, but we'll talk about SNCC, you know, and not to take away from the movements that are talked about. Not going to do that. But what I'm trying to say is you can't allow your oppressor to pick the message to teach to you about yourself, right? But that's what Black history is, because guess what? We don't make our own curriculums, but we knew that. You know, so now it's at a point to where we have to be on the front end of what it is that we're trying to teach about Black History Month. And then there becomes no standardized Black History Month agenda, which is fine. I don't want it to be standardized because there's a lot of stuff black going on out here. So as long as we're providing that information, we're providing that teaching, that instruction, who cares? Keep teaching it. But Black History Month. Let me talk about modern blackface, because last year I discussed modern blackface during Black History Month, and it was in response to a politician who was not a ADOS, you know, African descendant of slaves, African descendant of slavery, who was pretty much saying, let's abolish Black History Month. And I was like, no, you're not fit to say that, because being black is much more complex than your skin, right? And no knock to any culture of people with dark skin, with black skin, who are melanated, who are not African descendants of slaves. But I can't speak for those who created Black History Month, but I can say that it's focused on the plight of African descendants of slaves and then the modern African American or the modern Black American in America. So when somebody who is not an African descendant of slave but has recently come to America says we should get rid of Black history, bro, we're not talking about you or your history. We're not. We're not talking about the history from the country in which you came. We're talking about the history of the people who look like you in the country that you live in right now. And for you to try to get rid of that, bro, that's not even your place, man. Just shut the hell up. All right. So I put that post. I had that post out there, and for some odd reason, the YouTube algorithms really like that post, and it's picking up a bunch of steam right now. Shout out to YouTube. I'll take it. Cancel me. But then when I see it and people are like, oh, you were just one of those people trying to divide Black people and all of this stuff. I mean, a little bit. Yeah, kind of. You're trying to rate a level of Blackness to people. No, not really, because Blackness is a color. I don't really think Blackness is a culture. So who am I to say that, oh, this is what's Black, this is what's not Black? No, I'm not going to say that, because if we're looking at just skin color, I can't be the police of what people with who have a certain level of melanin in their skin do. Now, if you want to talk about culture, I can speak a little bit to culture, especially as a African descendant of slaves in the rural South. Yes, I can speak to Black culture because that's what I live. But what is Black? I mean, really, what is Black? I feel like Black is the color of this water bottle right here. I feel like Black is the color of this hat right here with the X on it. I feel like Black is the color of this koozie with a beer in it. I feel like Black is the color of this Wall Street in Tulsa on the back on my shirt. I feel like the background, you know what I'm saying, is gray shirt with a black, right? I feel like that's what Black is. But look at my skin. Is it black? I can't really tell. I think these headphones are black. I think I'm brown. Right. But let's not get too deep into semantics. But the thing is, there are many definitions of what Black is. So I got a good friend. He's Haitian. If you look at him, you're going to say he's Black. I don't disagree with that. But if you ask him what he is, he's going to tell you he's Haitian. He's Haitian American. Why? Because Haitian is his culture. If you ask me what my culture is, I'm going to say Black American. Why? Because I have melanin in my skin. I am from America as far as I know. So I can only trace my history reasonably to my American descendants. But there are many types of Black people, and I think bunching all of us together is dismissive of our diversity. Now, if you're using it as a easy, quick descriptor of, oh, those Black people over there, okay, sure. But then when you start talking about the Black agenda or Black rights or what Black people want, or I have a Black friend, so that's why I have a pass to do this. No. Now you're dismissing Black people because you're not accepting, you're not realizing, you're not understanding that despite what we look like, we don't think the same. Despite what we look like, we don't think the same. We don't have the same values. We don't have the same experiences. Why? Because we are a diverse group of people. Look at the continent of Africa. If you look at them from the sky, right? You'd say that, oh, bunch of Black people. But it's various countries with various religions, with various experiences, whether it's captivity, whether it's liberty, you know what I mean, whether it's West Africa, whether it's East Africa, whether it's South Africa, all of these people have had different experiences. But you wouldn't just say a Nigerian has the same experience as an Ethiopian, that has the same experience as an Egyptian, that has the same experience as a South African. You know what I mean? You wouldn't do that. Just like if we take it to Europe, you wouldn't say that a Englishman is an Irishman, is an Italian, is a Spaniard. You know what I mean? You wouldn't do that. Just because there are skin similarities does not mean that there are cultural similarities. Just because their skin looks the same doesn't mean that their culture is the same. So we got to be very specific with what we talk about. So when we talk about Black History Month, we're talking about it, to me, we're talking about the history specifically of the Black American, because this is America and this is where we celebrate this holiday, this month. What is an African American? There's two types. There's the general African American, that's me, because I descend from Africa. Where out in Africa? Hell if I know. I'm sure I could give a scammer some money to tell me where I came from, and he'll tell me, and I can believe it. But I don't freaking know. But then also you have the African Americans who are descendants of Africa. Either they came from Africa or their parents came from Africa, and they are African Americans. There's a difference. Culturally, there's a difference. Physically, there are slight differences. Skin color might be similar, but they're different. Why? Because I have more of an American influence. They have more of an African influence. But if you say, "Oh yeah, they're African American," they're the same. Yeah, okay. You tell that to a Spanish American or Italian American. I mean, somebody second generation from Spain, second generation from Italy. Parents grew up in the home country, and you say, "Oh yep, y'all are white. Y'all are the same." Tell them like the fuck out of here. I'm not like him. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. So why does it happen in the Black community? Why are we marginalized by our skin tone? Why does America classify diverse groups of people by color? And this is not just a Black thing. This is a brown thing. This is a yellow thing. This is a white thing. You name the color of people in America, and they are marginalized to their color. They are like, oh, they're Black. They're all the same. No, American born, Caribbean born, African born, we're different. Mexican, Guatemalan, Salvadorian, Brazilian, South American. Yeah. Oh, they're just all brown. No, no, they're not. I mean, they're brown. Yeah, but they're different. Culturally, they're different. The foods they eat are different. The values that they live by are different. Oh, yeah, they speak the same language. Oh, yeah, they speak Spanish. No, yeah, no habla inglés. Yeah, yeah, habla español. Yeah, sí, señor. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they are the same, because they're not. Or oh yeah, Chinese that Japanese dirty knees. Look at these. You know, that was a little joke growing up, but no, that's dismissive of what's going on there, because you meet somebody from Thailand who is yellow versus somebody from China who is yellow. The Chinese don't even rock with the Thai folks, yeah. But yellow folks, Asian lives matter. Yeah, I mean, to who? Who do the Asian lives matter to? Because some Asians don't rock with other Asians, which is normal. It's like some whites don't rock with other whites, some blacks don't rock with other blacks, and some browns don't operate with other browns. But we got to get rid of these simplistic terms to describe diverse groups of people, because once you simplify something that's diverse, you just rob that group of who they are. You rob yourself of learning about these people, because you just throwing them into a basket. You go, like I say, Chinese, Japanese, don't need to look at these. Chinese and Japanese ain't the same thing. Somebody from Thailand is not the same as a Japanese. And then, oh my God, what about the people in the Middle East or the Indians? Well, they're from Asia. Okay. Just because they're from Asia don't mean that everybody in Asia has the same cultural beliefs. I know some Asian countries are into Buddha, others are into Allah, and others are into, dang, bro, I can't think of it. You know, the cow worshippers. Oh man, that sounds so ignorant. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, there's a diverse group of religions in different countries that are on the same continent. So if you're trying to put all these people in the same category, you're ignorant. You're ignorant. You're ignorant. What's more important, color or culture? And just because we separate people of the same color because of different culture does not mean that one is superior. Separation does not mean superiority. No, it just means, hey, we're different. There's nothing wrong with being different. Just because I'm different from you doesn't mean that I hate you. But here's the thing. Here's what I want you to take from all of this. I've been talking about this for longer than I thought I would. Don't assume who I am because of what I look like. Get to know me. Have a conversation with me. And I'll do the same for you. I won't assume that you are a certain person because you are a certain color. Because just because you are a certain color does not mean you are of a certain culture. And I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to ask you to do the same for me.